Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Better Every Day. I'm your host, John, along with
Bianca, your co-host here.
And we've got another terrific guest this week.
Yes, we do.
This is actually a really special guest.
Look at him. He's performing
I
already. I love it.
I try.
You can tell we're going to talk about some muscle building today, for
Absolutely,
sure.
yeah.
So this is Chase Newsome. Chase is a fitness professional. He's a personal trainer.
Correct.
He also works at EOS Fitness, which is a big chain here in Vegas, but I think they're all over the place.
Yeah, we're in
Um,
8 states right now.
8 states,
Nice.
okay.
8 states right now.
Yeah.
We're coming for the other 42.
Well, and the cool thing, Chase not only runs the training department at EOS, so he's got a lot of credibility here in town, but also he got my partner here, Bianca, really involved with some
I got her on the
strenuous
program.
workout.
I can't
I
explain
got her
it.
on the program, and she is changing her life day by day.
I
That's
am.
what I did for Miss
At
Bianca.
least 2 days a week.
At least 2 days a week, huh?
I think we might actually have some video to prove it, which we're going to be showing during
Absolutely.
this
We do.
episode.
Yeah,
So,
nice little sneak peek.
Don't judge me too harshly.
We don't judge. No, we don't judge.
all right, Chase, let's kick it off. So how did you get involved with the wellness industry? What inspired you?
To be completely honest, and she already kind of knows this, I've been doing this for quite a long time. 21 years of age as of right now. I've been like into the bodybuilding and taking advantage of body composition since I was like 7. My dad's a bodybuilder and my mom's a nurse. So
Okay.
it's just an amazing science
So you
to
learned
me. I am
anatomy
an
and physiology right
an
away.
absolute nutcase about the body composition. It is just so cool to know about. You know what I mean? So when I was growing up, it was just a matter of knowing about what I had. Right? People like cars and people like big mansions and stuff like that. I didn't have one of those. I had a human body, so I wanted to know how it worked. You know what I mean? I wanted to know how to build lean muscle. Given that my father was a bodybuilder, I wanted to look up to my dad and be just like my dad growing up. My dad was 240 pounds lean. You know what I mean? It's not going to happen on accident, right? So obviously I need to know how that process went. And then given that my mom was on the nursing side, she had all of her school books in the house, so I didn't read like Diary of a Wimpy Kid and Blue Dolphin. You know what I mean? I read anatomy books on the endocrine system, the muscular system, and it's a crazy science. It was just really cool to learn about real early, and it put me in a good position. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I love what I do. I really do love what I do, and I can happily say that and mean it while I say it. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is what got me in. He's so motivating.
what I
Like, look
see
at
that.
this.
This is what I do.
Yeah.
I couldn't say no.
She didn't want to say no. She
I
didn't
know.
want to say no.
I might have wanted to, but I just couldn't.
Nope.
There was no way.
Absolutely, because you knew it came from a genuine place. You know what I mean? Like there's
Absolutely.
in the sales industry, I guess you could say, especially like for the gym. It's not something people will look for that professional help, but don't necessarily see the importance enough to like pay for it. You know what I mean? Like when you go to the mechanic and your transmission blows up, who do you look for? A mechanic. You don't go on YouTube to like learn how to fix your transmission by yourself. You know what I mean? You go to a professional who's been doing this for 20 years, and you can trust them with your car for the next 3-4 hours
Right.
while I go run some errands. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? It's the same type of deal that we got going on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You trust a professional who's been doing this for quite some time to acclimate you to the science that you haven't acclimated yet. You know what I
Right.
mean?
And that's, again, why I trust you.
Absolutely.
That's
I'm
why
glad
I
that
wanted
can
to
gain
have
that
you
trust,
here.
Miss Bianca.
Yeah, thank you.
Of course.
It goes both ways, right?
Yeah.
For sure.
Absolutely. I can trust that she's going to be in there twice a week.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
All right, so let's kick it off with a
Sure.
with a couple questions. We know a little bit about your background. We talked about you being a personal trainer, but you're also a bodybuilder, and we saw some of those
Just
muscles.
a little bit. Yeah, they're little for now. Just for now. Just for now.
No, we saw a little bit. You don't have little muscles. So it was your dad in the background,
Absolutely.
but how did you really physically get started? So we have that, the planting of the seed
Yep.
and the books and everything. So when did you go into the gym and you started noticing changes?
Right.
Yeah, when was that? For you?
In high school, I did play, I ran track and played football in high school. So we
Nice.
were in the weight room, but, I still graduated at 6'1", 145 pounds. So, I wasn't taking things seriously in the weight room. I would lift
That's
weights
nothing.
because my teammates were lifting weights, and that was cool in the moment. But I didn't, fall in love with, the fitness and the bodybuilding aspect until after I graduated. I graduated
Okay.
May of 2021. I worked at another gym that we have here in Las Vegas, and I worked with my father. Right, so given that we were both in the gym, both working in the office, and would both take break at the same time, started working out with my pop. You know what I mean? He's been working out for a long time. He bring me to the gym a couple times, just with me growing up from 13 to 15. But my first time consistently lifting in the gym wasn't until May of 2021.
Wow.
Yeah.
So this is pretty short term.
Yeah,
Great.
I've put on
results.
45, 50 pounds of lean muscle in the last 3.5 years practicing the science. You know what I
Wow.
mean?
Okay.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
Yeah, it is.
It's not gonna have no accident. You know what I mean? So you got to learn as much as you can in order to work conducively towards that, right? Because if one of the things that I tell all of my clients, right, is given that when God put us here, He made top of the line pieces of machinery. There is not another body. There's not another vessel that functions like the human body and as intricately as the human body does.
Right.
But the best thing that I can compare it to would be like a luxury car, right? A luxury vehicle. If you're a Rolls Royce, you're a Lamborghini, right? I'm a monster truck, if you guys didn't know, right?
I'll take that.
but those top of the line pieces of machinery take 91 premium octane fuel. They take the expensive stuff at the gas station. You don't give your body poured fuel in order for it to work to its potential, right? It's just the same thing as that vehicle. You don't put diesel fuel in a Lamborghini, because what would happen? It wouldn't work. You know what I mean? It wouldn't work. You know what I mean? So you have to think of your body as the same type of vessel.
All right, I guess.
Yeah, we
take
talk a lot
notes.
about that. You know, your body is your most important
Absolutely.
possession.
And you only get one of them.
You only get one.
You only get one of
And
them.
it's amazing how we often neglect taking care of it.
Absolutely.
We always prioritize everything else in our life, our career,
Because
school,
because this is a
kids,
given, right? We already
yes.
have this, and
We
we've
just
had it
keep
for
running.
as long as we've been alive. You know what I mean? So for people to want to understand how this vessel has kind of worked, it's not important to them per se, because it's been working just fine as of recent, right?
Until it doesn't.
Until it doesn't, and then they're inquiring about how to fix my body, my vessel, and who do they talk to? The doctor, who went to school for medicine,
Right.
right? Obviously, they studied the human body and the functions to biology, but they don't know about muscle hypertrophy and progressive overload, and they don't talk about those things. They talk about medicine and doctor stuff. You know what I mean? Exactly. Right. So when one of my clients goes to the doctor office and talks about high blood pressure and cholesterol, they give them high blood pressure and cholesterol medication, and they tell them to go to the gym and start doing physical activity, but they can't put together a game plan for them, because that's not what they went to school for. Right? That's what I went to school for.
Yeah.
So I can put that program together for you. You know what I mean? And it gets pretty cool, especially with my
Very cool.
my passion behind it. Oh man, yeah, it gets me. Yeah.
I know, it's like it's contagious.
That's the goal. That's the goal.
I love
Absolutely.
that.
So how much of that came from your parents' inspiration? Because you
A
definitely
lot
have
of
a
it.
lot of enthusiasm
Yeah,
for
a lot
this.
of it. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you and say that like I had regular parents. My parents were not at all regular. My parents
In
were
a
not
good
at all
way.
regular. In a good way.
Kudos
absolutely.
to your
I would not.
parents.
Yeah, I would not change anything about my parents'
Yeah.
parenting structure, the way that they raised me, the brain that they instilled in me, because it's gotten me to where I am right now, and they put an amazing head on my shoulders. If I'm being completely honest, not to toot my own horn, but like I'm a lot more driven than a lot of people my age. You know what I mean? I'm doing a lot better than a lot of people my age, for the sole fact that my parents told me that I was better than everybody growing up. I was that 6-7-year-old kid who like was not the best at football. I don't want you guys to think that I'm like an NFL level football player. You know what I mean?
Sure.
I was a starter. I was on a couple starting teams, but like I was not at all a superstar on the field. Nobody like looked for me on the field or anything like that. So even though I was at that level, my parents were like, Chase, you are at the absolute best on that squad. You just need to find it. Work harder. You know what I mean? Work harder, because if you don't work hard enough, you're never going to realize it. You know, so I take that into everything in my life. Not like, except for like driving, because there's a speed limit. But, right? But I take that into everything. You need to go 100%, because if not, you will never know to the extent as to where you could have gone. You know what I mean? It's important.
Push harder. I need to take notes.
Yeah,
I'm going to put these on my
everything
forehead.
in
when
I'm
I
sure
go.
he's sharing this
In
with you when you're
everything
working
in
out,
life.
too.
Absolutely, I'm
He
in her
does.
I see a
ear.
lot of philosophy.
It might sound a little different and like a lot shorter words, like "come on."
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
But I hear it. It's motivating, that's
Absolutely.
for sure.
Yeah, she hears the motivation like
Yeah.
after the workout on the drive home.
I love it, though. Whatever keeps us going.
Absolutely.
It
Yeah.
works.
All right, for
Yeah.
somebody who's sitting watching this show saying, okay, I want to start. I want to start getting better every day.
Sure.
I want to do, and we're all about taking baby steps.
Absolutely.
Because we know you can't go from 0 to 60
Sure.
overnight. It just doesn't work. So you want to start working out. What's the first thing a person should do?
That's a loaded question. There's a couple of different steps in which you would follow. On the mental aspect would be, again, take your small little steps. In the gym industry, obviously we all have the saying that the heaviest weight in the gym is the door. Once you lift that door, everything gets a little bit lighter.
Okay.
Right? You know what I mean? So once you open that door up, start building the habit of going into the gym. Even if you don't necessarily have a regimen, obviously everybody knows how to walk on their 2 feet, or one if they even have one. We have treadmills. You know what I mean? You can go upstairs, get on the treadmill, and start building the habit as to doing some cardiovascular activity. Go into the sauna. The sauna has a whole bunch of really good benefits. It counts as steady state cardio as well. So If you're looking to reach a goal, and obviously the goal being just getting started in the gym, but if you do have specific goals, build that habit. You know what I mean? Build the habit of coming to the gym. I always recommend a 1 day on, 1 day off, so that you can give yourself like a little reward. I went to the gym and worked real hard. The next day I got to give myself a nice little reward of recovery. Reward is not ice cream. Reward is recovery. Right? Right?
I didn't hear French fries in there.
No, sir.
I know.
Absolutely not.
That's
Absolutely
emotional
not.
support.
Once a
That's
month.
different.
Once a month reward.
Everything is
Yeah.
okay in moderation.
Yes.
I would be
Yeah.
lying to you if I told you that I did not have Ben and Jerry's last night, because I definitely did.
Right.
Absolutely, I absolutely did. Salted caramel
You got
brownie.
to.
It's a good
Uh-huh.
flavor. It's a
Yummy.
good flavor. But when I woke up this morning, I did fasted cardio so that I could burn the calories from my ice cream. You know what I mean? So it's just a matter of taking those baby steps to learn how this whole process works, and that's kind of what I focus on with all of my clients. I don't run a boot camp. I don't want anybody looking for me to, yeah, he's gonna whip me into shape. No, I'm just gonna teach you as to where you're at as of right now and what you can do on the day-to-day basis in order to change how you are on the day-to-day basis. You know what I mean?
Now, I can attest to that, because another reason why I went ahead and went for it and
Yeah.
signed up was because you told me that I could still have my little gummy treats
Absolutely.
before I get
Absolutely.
to
Because
the
I
gym.
would absolutely be lying to you guys if I told you that I eat chicken, broccoli, and rice 3 times a day,
Yeah.
or 4 meals, 5 meals a day, right?
Yeah.
My diet is definitely not that strict. However, I'm cognitive to what I put in my body. That's why when I eat Ben and Jerry's, I understand that these are empty sugars and my body's not going to utilize them as energy. I know that I'm going to store them within this anabolic window, so I need to do some cardio within that anabolic window, catch it before it sets in. You know what I mean? It's just...
Yeah, so now I only eat Sour Patch Kids on my way to the gym now.
You go.
So I
And
can
do
burn it off.
Do you remember why? So that you can burn it off.
Yes.
Right? For a scientific explanation, when you have like those gummy bears and things, those are it's glucose.
Yes.
Okay, it's stored as glycogen within your muscles, and they give you intramuscular energy.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah,
I'm
it's all
working
part,
on
it's
it.
all a process. You know what I mean? These are gummy bear fueled muscles.
That's it.
Well, I think that's you're speaking to the benefit of having a professional who understands this, because you know the average person isn't an expert in anatomy physiology.
Exactly.
We've spent a lot of time training and memorization and
Exactly.
testing and all the things we've had to
Yeah.
go through to get our licenses and all that. And let us share that knowledge.
Yeah,
with you.
it's-
Let us
Absolutely.
teach us some cool
Absolutely.
stuff, because you know how it works, and everyone's different, right? So you got some clients that are really big, you got clients that are really small, you got
Correct.
clients tall, short, everything,
Correct.
and you got to kind of customize what you're doing
Absolutely.
for those.
And that's why we
body shapes.
focus on the science, you know what I mean? Because I can obviously like motivate you guys to get into the gym, you know what I mean, and start running on the treadmill. However, you do have what's called like a target heart rate. Target heart rate is different for everybody,
That's
you know what I
true.
mean? And the target heart rate preserves your muscle and allows you to lose subcutaneous fat. Working too hard and making your heart rate go above your target heart rate, you're burning muscle, not using your subcutaneous fat as energy, you know what I mean? So obviously, my recommendation to everybody is get a professional. You know what I mean? It's just like, again, when you go to the mechanic, you feel safe that my car is going to get fixed and I'm not going to drive off the highway when I'm going over. You know what I mean? Because I went to go see a professional.
Right.
Yeah.
I didn't just hire some guy that I found on the street and be like, hey, man, have you ever heard of a catalytic converter?
Right.
Can you fix it for me?
Right. Maybe.
Right, exactly. For $200, sure, I'll give it a try. Right?
Right.
That's, yeah, right.
Yeah, I gotta take care of this.
Exactly. You got to take care of your vessel.
Luxury
You only
car.
get one of
We
them.
live in this time of TikTok videos, YouTube
Yeah,
videos.
yeah.
There's a million fitness influencers out there.
Sure.
But you know, we've talked to other guests about this.
Yeah.
It's one thing to watch a video, and I think that can be very motivating.
Yeah.
You're like, hey, that looks like an exercise that might work for me.
Absolutely.
But there's definite benefit in actually being with a human
Of course.
who can explain it to you and make sure you're doing it correctly.
Not
Right?
only making sure that you're doing it correctly, but making sure that what you are attempting to do,
Yeah.
is conducive with what we're looking to accomplish, right?
Right.
Because a lot of people will come into the gym, and I see them all the time. We're just like, yeah, I'm following this thing that I saw on Instagram, doing this
Yeah.
workout that I saw on TikTok. Like, that's awesome. I love the fact that you guys are getting in the gym and like you're excited to try something. But lady, your goal is subcutaneous fat loss. Why are you doing a kickback? You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah.
That's not at all conducive with the goal. Let's
Right.
hop on a Stairmaster, hit the
Yeah.
glutes and cardiovascular energy at the same time.
Yeah,
right?
make
And
it
then
work.
Make it work, right? Let's work out conducively towards your goal. One of the things that I say is we don't play the guessing game in the gym. The guessing game makes me so scared, right? Because it's the gym is an unsafe place per se, right?
Okay.
If you don't know how to use that,
You
it'll
can
get in your
hurt.
way. You know what I
You
mean?
can
It'll get in
hurt,
your way. Absolutely, right? So it's always give it the professional. You know what I mean? And make sure that we are hitting things, one, conducively towards the goal, but two, properly with the proper form and isolation. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
He's so knowledgeable. I love it.
I try.
Well, and the energy.
I try.
I
It's
know.
only going up from here.
Yeah.
And mean, I really like. I think a lot of people are intimidated in gym settings
Absolutely.
because they feel like I don't have that. I don't have the body type. I'm not athletic.
Sure.
I'm going to be embarrassed.
Everybody's gonna watch me.
Everyone's
Yeah.
watching me. I'm going to get this amazing coach who's in this top
Right.
physical form,
Yeah.
and there's no way I'm going to end up like you.
100%.
I can work out every day.
I know
I'm not
exactly
going
where
to
you're
look like
coming
you.
from. Yeah, I know exactly where you're coming
So
from.
how do you make people feel comfortable?
I remind them that everybody's different. You
Yep.
know what I mean? Everybody is different. This is not a 0 to 60 type of thing. You know what I mean? I put it into perspective. I acclimate them to the science as to if you eat this and you burn this on the day-to-day basis, the leftover is coming from this, and what this is subcutaneous fat. So, like, for example, like we go based off of the basal metabolic rate and the total energy expenditure. And that's how we're able to calculate, one, the minimum that your body requires to sustain your muscle while still promote ketosis, which is the process of utilizing your stored content. And then your energy expenditure describes what your body expends on the day-to-day basis just being a human body. Right? So when I have those numbers, I'm able to say that, Ms. Jones, you need to eat 2,000 calories a day, given that that's 200 calories above the basal metabolic rate, called a high protein deficit. Within your high protein deficit, we are coming to the gym and burning another 500 calories on top of your energy expenditure. So now your energy expenditure is 2,500, right? We're eating 1,500, we're burning 2,500.
Yeah.
That difference, that 1,000 calories a day, is coming from stored content. 1 pound of that stored content, which is subcutaneous fat, is 3,500 calories, and it takes her 3 days to burn it. Ms. Jones, that's 2 pounds in a week, 8 pounds in a month. Ms. Bianca, that's 2 pounds in a week, 8 pounds in a month. You'd like to lose the 25 pounds. 3
Easy.
months. You know what I mean? 3 months. That's all it is.
Easy.
Because I could easily tell you guys what to do. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
given my expertise and my professionalism, I know what I'm doing. Given that I tell you guys what to do, it's gonna work as long as you do it.
Yeah.
But I want you to learn how to do it. You
Yep.
know what I mean? So that after we're done working with each other, you're not just doing the same stuff. You're in a different body now. You know what I mean? Your workouts are gonna be different. The basal metabolic rate, total energy expenditure are different, and we have to make that acclimation.
I love it.
Okay, I can see why you picked him.
Thank you.
I
Exactly.
mean, there's this reputation of a lot of trainers
Yeah.
that, how do I say this? That's not PC. Meatheads.
I'm with you.
A lot
Yeah,
of
I'm
guys
with
who
you.
are just like, "Arr,
Sure,
I'm gonna
sure.
get you pumped up.
And that's kind
They
of
don't
like,
have the knowledge.
and that's what
you
they
have.
advertise, because it's one thing to do it. You know what I mean? Again, like, you can easily reach the goal by just consistency, right, and discipline within the gym and eating X amount of protein per day, right? But they can't explain to you how they did it, right? It's just, oh, I ate 200 grams of protein, and the guy
Chicken and broccoli every day.
who's asking these questions does not need 200 grams of protein, right?
Right.
This guy's 300 pounds. He needs 250 grams of protein and minimal carbohydrates. And we have to see what type of body type he is so that we can see whether or not he reacts to those saturated carbohydrates or the saturated fats and which ones he's able to burn. And yeah, we get into the science. You know what I mean? Don't be the reason that science doesn't work. That's kind of what I tell all of my clients.
So great.
It's science.
Yep.
Don't be the reason that science doesn't work. 2 + 2 = 4 every single day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's true.
It does, right? So
And we're
that's not going
get
to change.
More of that. We got to take a quick break just to say shout out and a thank you to our sponsors. We'll be right back with Chase.
The Showgirl Legacy Foundation is a 501c3 nonprofit dedicated to preserving the historic significance of the iconic showgirl as a performing artist. We achieve this through curriculum-based educational programs in partnership with the Las Vegas Academy of the Arts. The program includes a panel of entertainers and showgirls modeling authentic costumes for the visual arts students to paint. The students submit their artwork to the Showgirl Art Competition that becomes the annual Showgirl Art and Costume Exhibit. The foundation also represents guest speakers that give historical presentations about the Las Vegas Stage Show Spectaculars and their personal experiences. The speaker brings authentic show costumes for photo ops and tailors their presentations for conferences, conventions, luncheons, museums, and other venues. Recently added to the Foundation's repertoire is the talk show The Showgirl Connection with your host, Luann. She interviews former and current showgirls, dancers, entertainers, and all the people behind the scenes that make the magic happen. The Showgirl Connection wouldn't be possible without the partnership and support of WWDBTV and owner John Stiles. Learn more about us at showgirllegacy.org and castandcrewreunion.com. For questions, email us at info@showgirllegacy.org.
welcome back. We're going to continue our conversation with Chase here today. And we'll kick it off with a little video. And I'm being a little vulnerable here because it's of me working out.
Killing it. Killing it. That's what I do want to throw in there.
You'll see
Not just working out, she's
sweat.
killing it.
I can just say the diva often does not show behind the scenes video, so this is a special treat.
It should be. So, let's take a look at the video.
Two. Five. 6.
There you
That's
go, Miss
amazing.
Bianca.
Well,
Yeah, oh yeah.
I
Come
did
on.
Thank you.
There you go. Oh yeah.
So it's all because of this guy.
Yeah, that's what's
Got
up.
me started, and now
I'm
I'm
glad.
just going to continue the journey.
Absolutely.
So
That was the
I'll
goal.
say thank
Yeah, that
you.
was the goal, is to give you a game plan. You know what I mean? Once you're kind of comfortable within your game plan, although I would love to see you every day for the rest of my life.
No.
You don't necessarily need that.
I don't
You know what
want
mean?
to see you every day.
Yeah, you
Not
can,
in
you
the
can be
gym.
that. You can be that bird. You know what I mean? Leaving the
Yeah.
nest. That's kind of our whole deal. Is that we teach you how this thing works, so that you know how to take care of your body for the rest of the time that you have your body. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because in reality, that's not necessarily going to change. Like your inflammatory responses, and although your basal metabolic rate and the total energy expenditure, those change over time. They don't change too drastically. You know what I
Right.
mean? So like one of the things that I've wanted to do for like quite some time is implement that education into our like elementary school education. Because in physical education, like we learn how to do burpees and stuff like that. You know what I mean? People need to know how much food their body requires in order to
Right.
sustain muscle and burn fat.
Yeah.
And they need to know how much energy they're burning on the day-to-day basis, so that they're not overburning or going against their goals. You know what I mean? And given that were to be implemented in the school systems early on, I think that would put the world in a much better place, or at least the United States in a much better place, because we are unfortunately 65% overweight.
So Chase, you
Wow.
were saying that your parents parented a little differently.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So what was that influence?
Yeah,
How did that work?
we were kind of referencing it. My parents were nutcases. My parents were nutcases.
They're watching.
It is the good
Yes.
nutcase.
Best,
Again, like when I
best.
was a kid, I definitely didn't like all of the rules and regulations as to like my
course.
diet and things like that. But growing up, obviously, I understand as to why they did it, because I didn't grow up with like sugary cereals and juice and sodas in the house and candies and snacks. I didn't grow up with that stuff. I remember going to my friend's house like for the sole fact that he had chips
Right.
at my friend's house. You know what I mean? I remember paying kids $5 for like a little bag of chips. That's just because like I wanted chips that bad.
Talk
I
about
was like, yo, you can
inflation.
keep the change. Inflation been hitting me since I was in fourth grade. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because you can keep the change. I just want like a little small glimpse of the Taki powder at the bottom of the bag. You know what I mean? I just want something. But I didn't grow up with that stuff, and they built the habits early on. I drank almond milk growing up. I stayed away from like trans fats and all the bad stuff that you would typically be putting into your diet. I call it the American diet. Your oils, your butters, your greases, fried foods, fried chips, alcoholic sugars, empty carbohydrates. These are all things that
Food manufacturers know that tastes really good
Absolutely.
and hits our palate in just the right way, and so
Absolutely.
it becomes.
and the market doesn't make it much better,
addictive,
because
yep.
if you guys couldn't tell, like a 50 bag pound of rice is like $15. Those are empty carbohydrates.
Yeah.
Box of pasta, 99 cents. You know what I mean? And it'll feed a family,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Of just things that it's not supposed to be eating. You know what I mean? So you have to give your body that proper fuel. It's important. So my parents were definitely super big on that growing up. I had a super clean diet.
Did you influence other kids, or or were you like quiet about
If I'm being,
what
yeah,
you were
I
doing?
was. Yes and no. Like, I'd talk to my friends about it. Like, hey man, you drink almond milk? And they were like, yeah, what? Are you crazy? Yeah, no, but I didn't even know almonds had milk.
Right.
Yeah, they're kids, by the way, obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah, they weren't too much of a fan of it. My little Nutri-Grain bars and things like that. They were like, yo, I got Twinkies.
Right.
You know what I mean? And
yeah.
that's kind of what we dealt with. But although I did like cave a couple times just to like the bags of chips, but
Sure.
I can honestly say that I've sipped a soda maybe like 4 times. I can't tell you what Sprite or Coke or Pepsi, any of those ones taste like. I've had Mountain Dew and that's it. And ginger ale. Right, those are the only 2 that I've tried. I'm not a big chip person. I do enjoy the occasional like Ben and Jerry's that we were talking about, or like cookies. But
Everybody's got a weakness.
everybody has that
Yeah.
weakness, right? But I use it as a strong point because the glycogen is pretty cool.
And when you know how to do what you
Absolutely.
need to do with
Absolutely.
it makes it that much easier.
Correct.
For sure.
Yeah.
So I'm going to ask a couple of rapid fire questions.
Sure.
Favorite exercise and why?
Does it have to be like weight?
No,
Ooh, that's a
whatever
loaded
you
question.
say. I know. So many to choose from.
Ooh.
So many routines.
I'll give you 2 answers.
Okay.
One is going to be my recommendation, given that like I could only have one exercise for the rest of my life. It would be called a power clean. That exercise it's a compound movement, and that taxes practically every muscle and tendon and ligament that you have in your body. It's a very compound movement. It starts with a deadlift. You'd get under the bar, and then you push it above your head. And so you've probably seen people do it like they do it in the Olympics, like Olympic snatching and things like that.
Right.
So that would be like the one exercise that I could have for the rest of my life.
Okay.
Not necessarily my favorite.
Okay.
My favorite, if I'm being honest, I'm biased. I like bicep curls. Dumbbell
Okay.
bicep curls. I love them. They make my
Shows.
my arms look so cool.
Yeah.
They make my arms look so cool.
For
Yeah,
sure.
and I don't have any other explanation than that. I just like the way my arms look during the bicep curl.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why not?
Yeah, yeah.
So, John.
What's a meal you can't live without?
There
We
you
talked
go.
a little bit about food and the importance of diet.
I'm gonna go the same approach. I'm gonna give the recommended answer, and it's gonna be any type of protein. Any type of protein. It can be red meat. It can be white meat. It can be fish. It can be any type of protein. Because the best way that I can make it make sense, there's 3 macronutrients. You have proteins, you have carbs, and you have fats. Carbs and fats are used in the body as energy sources, and that's practically it. That's their only job. Protein is obviously used for repair, and you don't burn protein unless you have like 400 grams of it running through your system, which is very unlikely. Right?
Yeah.
But you use protein. Protein is used for repair. It's broken down into amino acids. Amino acids are what repair the muscle and bring it back to be bigger and stronger than it was last time. So, yeah, definitely protein.
Okay.
My food.
Personal.
Yeah, my food. Oh, you guys are going to kill me. You guys are going to kill me. Baked mac and cheese.
Ooh.
That is a
Now that's
killer.
yummy.
Yeah, it's a killer. I have it once a year.
Who
And
doesn't like
what,
that?
What day do we eat baked mac and cheese?
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving.
You know it.
Yeah.
You know it. So I'm
Thanksgiving,
definitely good.
Everything's on hold on Thanksgiving.
Correct.
Exactly.
Gotta
You get a
remember
pass.
ourselves.
Yeah, exactly. Right? But does everybody know why they take a family nap time after Thanksgiving? Have I ever been to either of your guys' Thanksgivings?
No.
Nope.
How did I know that you guys take a family nap time?
Because it's part of the cycle to rest and digest. We have
Well,
to.
it's the.
It's
but-
an inflammatory response.
Yeah.
It's your
Yeah.
body shutting you down, telling you to go to
We
bed.
have to.
Because you're not going to
Way too
go
many
run a
carbs, yeah.
5K right now.
No.
So you at least need to go to sleep so that your body can do all the work and
Yeah,
burn whatever empty calories that you just ate.
all of them.
Get rid of them.
All
You
of
know
them.
what I
That
mean?
parasympathetic
Get rid of
nervous
them.
system is just
Absolutely.
activated.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But I'm okay with that, from time to time, because usually I'm the one also cooking,
Ooh,
so I
yeah.
need to rest.
You're right. Yeah, I
burn
guess you're right.
calories
Yeah,
cooking.
I guess
Yeah.
you're
It's a lot
right.
of
Yeah,
work.
by the end of the day, you're pretty much zeroed
Even.
out. You know what I mean? You're
I'll
pretty
take
much
that.
zeroed out. Yeah,
Oh,
but that would
goodness.
be my food, baked mac and cheese. That's
Okay.
dangerous.
I like it.
Dangerous.
Yeah. How about the most underrated thing about training and working out?
That one's kind of quick. Self-image. Yeah, absolutely self-image. Because although I've always had confidence. My parents built me as a confidence kid. You know what I mean? It's to, yeah, Chase, you're gonna do great, and you're the best in the field, and that. But in the gym in particular is where a lot of people have like a lot of self-doubt or a lot of just feelings that they have towards themselves, and they come out during the gym because they're so vulnerable within their physicality. You know what I mean? And something that I tell all of my clients is that any of these people in here, I'm referencing my gym, right? Any of these people in here, that person right there on the cardio equipment is not losing weight for anybody but themselves, right? That guy doing a bicep curl is not building any muscle for anybody but himself, right? Although they're all within the same like realm, right? Everybody is in their own world in there. You know what I mean? Everybody is solely working on themselves, and that's the only reason that they walked into the building. They didn't walk in like, oh yeah, I'm about to go burn some calories for Miss Bianca because she ran out last week. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, that's not how that works.
I mean, John, you could do that for me,
Right?
right?
If it worked like that, I wouldn't know what to say. Yeah, I wouldn't know what to say. Right? The whole world would be in even more debt because everybody would just be taking each other's calories. You know what I mean? Hold these. I got a date.
Right.
Hold these. Right?
Let me just take this off.
Exactly.
So there's a lot of conflicting information out there about how much time you should spend doing cardio versus lifting. What's your advice for muscle clients, or is it different based on their needs?
Yeah, it is different based on obviously like the goal. Given that we were to go into like the time frame as to when we want to lose this weight or gain this muscle and things like that, but like a generic understanding as to how much cardio I should be doing and what my weight resistance training sessions should look like on the weekly basis. A base of 30 minutes of cardio on the day-to-day basis is never a bad thing. Again, this is not like ball to the walls, crazy cardio that like makes me want to pass out. This is steady state cardio, right? Just allowing your body to get into that target heart rate and allowing your body to utilize those stored energies. You know what I mean? 30 minutes should definitely get the job done. Me, myself, I do 30 minutes before my workout. Or like I do 2 days per se. I do cardio in the morning and then I do my lift later in the day. But if I don't, for example, I wake up late or I'm human, you know what I mean? For whatever reason, I don't do my cardio in the morning. I definitely throw in the sauna after my lift because it does count as steady state cardio, and it allows me to burn what I should have burned that morning. You know what I mean? So 30 minutes is a really good like staple, I guess that you can say. And then weight resistance, the recommendation is anywhere between 2 and 4 days a week. If you're like really good about eating your protein, I'd say anywhere between like 3 to 6. You know what I mean? But my clients always say my recommendation is that 1 day on, 1 day off. Right? I get to work out hard in the gym and then I reward myself the next day. You're looking at about 3 to 4 days a week.
That's
there you go. Right? And it's working for you.
It's working.
It's working for you,
It's
right?
been a whole month already,
Absolutely,
so
right?
the time is flying by.
Because you're building habits.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like an assignment anymore. You know what I
Right.
mean? The first week, I understand that it felt like an assignment. But, man, once you start building that's what I told you.
Yeah.
We just want to acclimate you to a system. We want to acclimate you to a lifestyle because this is, if you couldn't tell, this is my goal is for this to be your last time. You know what I mean? I want you to understand how this process works, right? Because when I get somebody who's coming into the gym, getting a membership for the first time, and they're 50 years old, I'm like, I was sneaking into the gym when I was a kid. You know what I mean? Like I couldn't get a gym membership when I was sneaking in, right? So it's just an entirely different. I grew up different, and it's a different understanding as of now. And my goal is to, like my mom used to tell me, like I'm off to school or like I'm getting on the school bus, she'd give me a ride or whatever the case may be. It was always like the last thing that I heard from her before she went to work was be the change that you want to see in the world. Be a blessing. Be the change that you want to see in the world. And again, America is 65% overweight. You know what I mean? So given that I can start here and have these conversations with people one-on-one, I'll eventually be able to scale it and talk to people 1 on a million and 1 on 8 billion eventually. You know what I mean? That's kind of the goal.
We're talking to
Absolutely,
you.
yeah, that's kind of the goal. You know what I mean? Because I'm absolutely talking to you guys out there.
Yeah.
It is never too late to start. There's always somewhere that you can start, and everybody who you're kind of scared of in the gym or that make you intimidated and you're too scared to, they started the same place that you were at. It's ground zero. You know what I mean? The very bottom, and they felt the same way that they feel about yourself. You know what I mean? It does get better. And the hardest day in the gym is the first day. You know what I mean? Hardest day in the gym, heaviest weight in the gym is absolutely that door. Right?
And if I can do it, I know you can do it.
Absolutely.
I'm getting better every day.
Absolutely. Everybody gets better every day, right?
Yes.
And we don't. Another thing I say is like we don't try, we succeed. Like we didn't any effort put towards your overall wellness. You know what I mean? You are not trying. You are succeeding. I'm not trying to lose weight. I will succeed in it as long as you do it consistently every day. Better yourself every day. You know what I mean?
Okay, so one last little rapid fire question.
Uh-oh. Why are you looking at me like that? What you got?
Because you seem to be able to answer everything rapid fire. I like it. Okay, if you could train with anyone, past, present, who would it be?
Oh man,
That's a loaded question.
that is
It
an
is.
absolute loaded question because there are too many greats.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you a top 3 because I can't.
Okay,
Yeah, I
I'll
can't.
take a top 3.
I'm gonna go number 1 would be Ronnie Coleman.
Oh, nice.
Obviously, Ronnie Coleman is the king of bodybuilding. My favorite bodybuilder is Kevin Levrone. but unfortunately, Ronnie Coleman is the king of bodybuilding. Kevin Leroney just has my favorite physique. I feel like him and I share a lot of characteristics. So Ronnie Coleman, number 1. Number 2 would be Dr. Mike Israetel. He has a PhD in exercise physiology, and he is I enjoy his YouTube. He's
Nice.
on YouTube. He's on Instagram and all of that. So given that you guys don't follow Dr. Mike Israetel, I need to meet with you. You're next.
There you go.
So I absolutely want to get in the training session with him. I have met like his disciple, Mr. Jared Feather. I used to work out in LVAC out here, which is the Las Vegas Athletic Club. And that's where all of like the Olympians come in when they're doing their bodybuilding show down at the Orleans. They come into the LVAC and they'll do their pose downs or whatever.
Oh,
and I go, oh
nice.
man, I'd see them just roll in.
Yeah.
260 pounds,
Yeah.
280 pounds.
Yeah.
Oh man, I was in the gym like a little kid. Oh man, there was a kid in the candy store. It was so crazy.
love that.
So yeah, Ronnie Coleman, number 1. Dr. Mike Israetel, number 2. And I guess number 3 would be my father. Me and my dad don't necessarily work out too often together just because we have different schedules and I'm kind of adulting now. But I've hit a couple workouts along these years with my dad, and they've been amazing workouts. You know what I mean? He was my number 1 workout partner in the beginning. He kind of showed me how to do it. He has a great understanding as to what my genetics look like because it's my dad. You know what I mean? So, like, eventually down the line, me and my dad talked about it. Like, he's going to be my bodybuilding coach. Like, he's going to be my conditioning coach.
Perfect.
Because he was obviously in great shape, and he wants to go back to school for exercise physiology now that I'm going to school. So given that he gets a good little understanding, he can be my bodybuilder coach, and we can be the duo. You know what I mean?
The dynamic duo.
Oh man, it would be so
I love
dangerous.
it.
It would be so dangerous. Yeah, I'm so excited.
That's a good answer to that
I
question.
think we touched on
Thank you.
something in the show we haven't really talked about before, and we usually focus on the individual and making things a little better every day for your own body. But I love the idea if you are a parent, if you have influence over a young person in your life, even if you're not a parent, uncle, aunt, adopted, person, that you don't realize those little conversations you have with kids, those little things of demonstrating a better way to live.
Those things matter.
Change their life forever.
Absolutely. Because I would be lying to you if I told you that my parents did not give me my confidence. Like, life has been beating me up. You know what I mean? Life has been, I'm sure all of you guys would relate. Adulting is not fun. You know what I mean? But because my parents built a strong, disciplined, confident child, I am a strong, disciplined, confident adult. And I go into the world as such. You know what I mean? It's super important that people do so. It's worked out for me. I'm in a real good position for myself as of right now. I'm not a millionaire. I don't got all the gems and the jewels and the cars and stuff like that, but I've changed more people's lives than all of these influencers online. I've helped people lose, like me specifically. I've worked with my clients and lost 1,000 pounds of subcutaneous fat and built 220 pounds of muscle. Just like me making an individual change. So like once I'm able to scale and things like that, I really do wish to change the world. My mom did that for me. She put that in my brain because she made me believe that I could do it. You know what I mean? If I can just put myself in the right position to talk to the right people, I'll reach as many people as I can, and it's coming from a true place. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
Anyone who's going through any kind of major health issue, if they have a lot of money doesn't matter.
Money doesn't matter to them. You know what I mean?
Might
Because
buy some good health care, but it doesn't.
Yeah.
What matters
Because
is
if I could hold
body.
the perfect version of you in my hand that looked exactly the way that you wanted it to, felt exactly the way that you wanted to, and you had a guarantee that it never changed, how much would you pay?
Right.
I'd go into generational wealth, or I'd go into generational debt for that person. You know what I mean?
It's priceless.
It's absolutely priceless. I can't even put a number on it, right? Because I want to be that person so bad. And when people kind of realize that they want to be somebody in which they are not, they need to start taking some action steps. You know what I mean? Start doing a little bit of research as to if I want to look like that guy and that guy has abs, what do I do to get abs?
Yeah.
Right? Start taking the steps. You know what I mean? I'm never going to shoot people in the foot for doing their own research. That's why I don't shoot people in the foot for bringing in their own videos and following the workouts. I just give them a workout that feels a whole lot better for them in particular.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I know, because my very first meeting, I thought it was just, oh, hey, here, sign up, there's some money, bye. He pulls out the, what is it, TRX band?
Oh, yeah, that too, yeah.
I said, what the heck is that?
Oh,
What do you want me to
Kind
do?
of torture device.
You literally have to hold your body
It's a resistance
weight.
piece of equipment in which we use to incorporate body weight resistance. And I think you and I were doing a row. I think we were doing this one.
We did the roll,
So we did 2 different ones with her elbows tucked so that she can use more of her lats, which are the biggest muscles that you have on your back.
Unbigging my back, as they say.
Unbigging the back, exactly. Unbigging the back, right? And then to focus on more so the shape in which you're trying to look to accomplish. We kept the elbows up and we brought the elbows behind the body in order to retract the scapulas, I guess you'll say, to incorporate the rhomboids, the traps, and the rear delts. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So building that shape that you want on the posterior chain. And then, of course, just using the lat muscles as you need to utilize them.
Yeah, it was great. So, I mean, even in
That's
that,
one assessment, man. I got you.
yeah, that quick little
I got you.
brief session to begin with, but that was what opened the door for me.
Absolutely.
I'm forever grateful.
It is not the lack of motivation that keeps people out of the gym. It's the lack of knowledge. Because if you guys went to school for what we went to school for, it makes sense. You know what I mean? You guys would be more prompted in order to kind of make it happen. This is what I went to school for. You know what I mean? So that's kind of what I think about in the back of my head on the day to day. When I look in the fridge, I'm counting calories.
Yeah.
I don't even have to use an app anymore, just because I've been doing it for so long. You know what I mean? But
Someone can start at any age.
yeah, and absolutely. I put somebody on stage at 62 years of age on stage.
Wow.
Bodybuilding shape, had
Yeah.
veins in his chest and stuff like that. Like, oh yeah. It is absolutely never too late to start. You know what I mean? There's 80-year-olds who are still competing in bodybuilding. Not that everybody wants to be a bodybuilder, but if they're 80 years old and they did a bodybuilding competition prep with depleting themselves of water and extracellular fluid,
Yeah.
that's nuts at 80 years old,
Right.
And that's super awesome that they're able to do it. But if they can do that, you can absolutely build the habit of coming to the gym 4 times a week and doing some
Right.
cardio, right? And maybe using your arms a little bit, right? Dealing with the profession.
Well, he doesn't like to brag, but our producer John, who's behind the camera,
Come on, Big John.
he's a former bodybuilder,
My dog.
weightlifter.
Go ahead, let me get
I'm sure we'll be showing pictures of him. Yeah.
let me see a front double bi. Come on, John.
Yes, thank you, John, at WWDBTV. We love you.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Right? You know what I'm talking about, Mr. John. Word.
So we're at that point where we're going to start wrapping up here.
Yes.
But I know that you might have a couple.
I can get up off the floor without using my hands.
There
That's
you
okay.
go. He can
Good
get
job,
up. With
John.
Absolutely.
That's awesome.
Without going like this.
Right. With the eyes spiraling and everything.
Yeah, absolutely.
So in the wrap up of all of
Sure.
this, do you have any upcoming projects or any events or something that we should know
Yeah.
about?
I did give Mr. John one of my websites, given that it's probably going to pop up on the screen, like right here or something like
so.
that. It is chasewellnesstoday.fit. It's more so like a biography about myself and kind of why I got started in the gym. But then in the top right corner, it goes into my chasing greatness rather than chasing wellness today. When you chase greatness, it goes into a challenge that I do have, and I look to kind of wrap up within these next couple months. I have about 30 to 35 slots left for the 100 people that I would be working with. They all opt in for a $50 like personal training program. They have 12 weeks in order to make a exogenous change for the biggest change. All of the people who put in that $50 obviously pays out $5,000. Right, so you have the option to earn $5,000 and all for working on yourself. You know what I mean? You didn't need to buy anything per se. It is an absolute return on investment. Given that you do your job, I'm going to do mine and make sure that you have a game plan. But yeah, $5,000 is on the line, and it only costs you $50 to make it. Right, so go to chasewellnesstoday.fit, check in the top right corner for Chasing Greatness, and inquire about my Chasing 5K contest. Other
Motivation.
than that, yeah,
That
absolutely,
works. That
absolutely,
works.
right? Because it's incentive. You know what I mean? If I have the option to make $5,000 after investing 50, you'd be an idiot not to take that. You know what I mean?
for
I do
sure.
only have 35 slots left, right?
Yep,
So
yep.
given that you guys want to take advantage, definitely visit the website, and we'll book a consultation call.
Perfect. Now, I thank you for that.
Sure.
That means that it's open to everybody.
Absolutely, everybody around the world. I want to touch all 50 states, realistically. Because realistically, if I get one person from each state, that's 50 people. Oh, that would be so cool. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? What state they're representing for the state. Arizona has the craziest transformation right now.
Yeah.
Florida has the craziest transformation right now. So I think that would be pretty cool.
That
You know what I
is
mean?
cool.
Yeah, that's the end goal for sure.
Awesome. Now, I do know, because we mentioned earlier that you are a manager at
Yes, ma'am.
EOS
Yep.
Fitness. For our veterans out there, thank you for your service.
Yes, sir.
We also want to make it known that you can go to the gym and get a free.
Any of your local EOSs. We are in 6. We're branching out into those other 2 states coming up, but we're in 6 states as of right now: Arizona, Utah, California, Florida, Texas, and Nevada. Go to your local EOS, and if you are a veteran, ask them about their complimentary welcome workout, and they will give that to you.
Yes, so please, we support you.
Absolutely.
Thank you for your service and everything that you've done for us. And we want to at least make sure that you're aware of something that can help you get better every day.
Absolutely, right? And yeah, it's absolutely an amazing opportunity to just learn how this kind of whole process goes. You get a body composition test, obviously a nutrition panel, and then we go through an hour in which you get to ask all of the questions in which you have about the process. And given that you want to get shown a little workout, we can definitely show you a couple things. Okay.
Perfect.
Cool beans.
One final word to leave with our audience.
Yes, I do.
What is
Absolutely.
wellness about? What's the
Absolutely.
motivator?
And I've been
What do you
thinking
need to
about
do?
this one. I've known that I'm coming here for like the last month, and I've been thinking about saying this every single day.
All right.
I'm going to take this from my mom, but be the blessing that you wish to see in the world. Be the change that you wish to see in the world. You can absolutely make that change, given that you love everything about it, right? Be the change that you wish to see in the world. Make some people smile, make people day, say nice things, and that you never know what that'll do for somebody. That could prompt somebody else to go do that, and then it's a chain reaction, right? If everybody gives somebody a compliment and tries to change the world, maybe one day we'll do it. You know what I mean? I'm doing my side, I promise.
Yeah.
But if you guys can hop on the wave, we will absolutely change the world one step at a time.
And this beautiful coming from such a young person. I mean, I have younger children,
Sure.
so I try to be the change for them. But
Absolutely.
to express that to the world, I can appreciate
It's
that.
it's my generation that's gonna do it. You know what I mean? Because not that you guys are like so much older than I am, but you guys are looking at me like, all right, this is next up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We did this within our generation. Let's see what these guys do. And
Yes.
unfortunately, with like the social medias and the outside influence of just the crazy world that we live in, we got to get everybody on the same wavelength. You know what I mean? So at least within this crazy world, let's all do one thing that we can try to do and change it. You know what I mean? Change it for the better. Getting
Very
better every day. Right?
Getting better every
Definitely
day.
shout out
day.
to your parents because
Yeah, I appreciate it. Right. Mom,
Yes.
And you're
Dad,
carrying the
Thank
tradition.
you.
absolutely. I do have two little sisters as well, and they're nutcases about this stuff too. So,
Good.
yeah, they did pretty well, right? All of the advice for some parents out there: look into the basal metabolic rate and the total energy expenditure for your children. That's kind of my last piece of my tad bit. Look into those pieces of information for your children, and you will absolutely align them for success.
Yep.
They will know how to take care of their body for the rest of their life, based off of those two numbers.
Well, to the whole Newsome family, you did an amazing job
I
here with
appreciate
Chase.
it. I appreciate it.
Congratulations.
My dad's sitting in his chair like this right now.
Yes, as it should be.
We know there's great things to come.
I appreciate you,
You've
boss
got
man.
a great vision. So,
I do. I appreciate you.
Thank
Mr. John, thank
Yeah,
you.
thank
We'll
you.
follow up
You are so
after
awesome.
your contest to see how people
Yeah,
are doing.
absolutely. Ideally, it starts by the end of this year so that we can go into like the winter arc. You guys do have that 12 weeks just until spring break comes around. Everybody gets to show off their spring break body.
Yeah.
And the biggest winner, the biggest transformation on pounds of lean tissue next to subcutaneous mass, the biggest transformation will win that $5,000.
Very good.
Beautiful.
Cool.
All
Well,
right.
I appreciate you. I do want to say I appreciate you guys having me on.
Oh, it's
This
been
is
a pleasure.
my first opportunity to like talk to the world. You know what I mean? So I
It's
really do
definitely not going
appreciate
to be your last.
It's not the last.
I would hope so. Yeah, I would hope so. I'm going to plan in order to make it my first. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
yeah, there's definitely a lot more to come.
As he moves up in the world of influencers for
Absolutely.
fitness.
I'll bring you guys with me.
This
Yeah.
little
I'll bring
video
you- this
surface
video-
at some point.
absolutely.
Got to start
Gotta
somewhere.
start somewhere.
Because they're going to look up Chase's start. Where did Chase start? Bodybuilding. This video is going to pop up.
That's it. We'll
Start
take
talking-
it.
Oh
Yes.
yeah. Right.
Well, thank you again.
I appreciate
And
you
thank
guys.
you for watching, everyone. We appreciate you. And we look forward to seeing you again pretty soon so that maybe you can take some tidbits with you so that you can be a little better.
Every single day.
Let's do it.